Good morning. It's time for the River City Reviews radio show on Morning Joy. I'm your host, Erica Ramjohn, and each month I'll be bringing you features to include new businesses, new people doing exciting new things in and around the River City. Again, we have an exciting guest, and in this April season, what do you think it is? Tax season. And I don't want to say it like tax season. It should be a little more exciting. Like, it's tax season. Some of us are getting a refund. Some of us have to pay. But today our guest is Dr. Jean-Philippe Montout, who is with JP Montout Financial Group. He is a tax preparer, a professional tax preparer, who is also partnered with Godwin Associates, another tax preparer professional here in Elizabeth City. Jean-Philippe, Dr. Jean-Philippe Montout, I must say, welcome to the River City Review Show.
Thank you. Welcome, Erica, and thank you for inviting me in your show.
Well, you know, as I mentioned to you, we want to talk about this tax season. Mm-hmm. And yes, tax season is almost over, or the date for filing your taxes is almost here. And by the time the listeners hear this show, it would have passed. But, Jean-Philippe, I still want to talk about taxes and give people some ideas as to what they should be looking for. What are the tax tips that you have that can still help people who may have filed late or still need to file? Okay. So please, let's share some information with us.
I would say the tax season is over. Some of people would have to pay right now, go on figure out, and some not preparing for the next tax season. The 5 tips I would give them, for example, is to organize your documents. Most of the time, especially we don't want to leave any money on the table, so organizing to be able to allow us to take every deduction possible. All right. So the second also always looking at this new updates coming up on the tax season for the next year, for example. Figure out the number of, especially on dependent side, a lot of our taxpayers sometimes, they don't take advantage of some of the dependencies that they may have. So it's not necessarily usually that the person have to be affiliated with you. You could claim somebody that, for example, that have no relationship with you, as long as that person is living in your payment. So this is certain things that maybe for next year, if you have not think about it this year, you can something to look at. I would say always, and the IRS just launched as a pilot program for the last tax season, the pilot where everything was free, right? You can tax your taxes for free.
I mean, you can prepare your
tax online for free. You probably say, so why do we need you to prepare tax? So I would say this is advantages and disadvantages, but this is things that are coming more and more. And most importantly, also, make sure if you find out you were owing some taxes or too much, you could now review your W-4 form. Very important, right? W-4 form allow you to review your exemptions. Right? Maybe you need them to take out more taxes from you this year. So you go talk to your employer. There is a fill out the form. You could do it yourself online as well and submit it. So that can be a good thing for the next season as well.
Okay, so Jean-Philippe, quick question. Since you are partnered with a local tax preparer here in Elizabeth City, that's Godwin Associates, you have your own company, JP Montout Financial Group, that handles a lot of accounting information for individuals and as well as commercial. But for the tax season in particular, Godwin Associates, where your office is, that you work out of, is located where? Is it right here?
It's right in Elizabeth City. Most of my clients also are some clients from Elizabeth City, but as well clients located outside New York. I got clients from Michigan as well, right? So I take the advantage of working with Godwin, and that helped me set up and also get a lot of information. It's good to connect with them.
All right. So what is Godwin's? What is that address that you all work out of here in Elizabeth City, and a phone number I think you told me already. It's give me their phone contact.
The phone contact, they open 9 to 5, and this is a tax place, so they most of the time also open during the weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday as well. Phone number 252-599-1764. Very friendly. You usually can talk to Godwin, a very professional person, but also very friendly. Okay, that's
okay. So that they are right here in Elizabeth City,
right.
Where your office is located, where you work out of. Okay. They are on Eringhouse Street. I think you told me they were located at 1502 West Eringhouse Street in Elizabeth City.
Correct.
And that's from 9 to 5 a.m., especially during this tax season. And let's call that phone number once more, 252-599-1764 to get your taxes prepared. And if you forgot to file, if you need to file, if you still need to file, is there something about amendment?
There is an extension. I mean, some of the taxpayers, they get the opportunity. If they don't file, I would say not filing, do the extension is not late for payment. Okay, you'll be still liable for the taxes as well. So you can even do your extension, but still pay your dues as well. Okay. Okay,
and if people owe taxes and they don't have the funds to pay, how easy is it for them to communicate with the IRS?
Wonderful question. The IRS, people maybe tend to think, be afraid of the IRS or have some tension, but there is a lot of program that allow the taxpayers to set up payment plans, to set up different ways. There is also some programs where actually they can let all those fees go, right? But this is on discussion, and the program, you have to know it.
So this is what you recommend that they communicate. They have open communication with the IRS.
Exactly.
And but how does Jean-Philippe help the client if they need help with that communication or representation?
That's what we come to, right? So like I said, you can do your own stuff for free, but getting more knowledgeable of what is going on to your taxes. Those software, they don't have the ability to do this. So that's right. So having us in the group to be able to look at your case individually, we can be able to pinpoint if you have any issue and certain things. You see a lot of taxpayers, sometimes they do some hobbies or they don't know about the write-up that they can have. You see a lot of taxpayers, they had to work at home. They don't know they have some deduction of working at home.
So
right?
You say there is a benefit in talking to a tax professional like yourself, Jean-Philippe and Godwin Associates, in personal tax preparation, especially when it comes to you all consulting with this person regarding what other things, etc., that they need to do when they prepare their taxes.
Because there is a lot of information out there. So for us, I would say, an advice, right? If you come to a point where you see a little bit complexity, not your regular, you are just a W-2 person, but like I said, like you have a small business or you just do some activities, it's good to sit down with somebody. If now you're on the side now where you owe the IRS, you have some issues, it's at that time that you come. And we can come back. It's not just like going back for 2-3 years. You can come back as much. I would say I have some clients that I was able to go back to 5 years to try to fix whatever due. And I had clients, for example, that were owing over $50,000. So we come to the long road, go back and file all those returns, find where those issues are, and at the end of the year, even after an audit, they was able to be cleared completely.
Oh, I'm glad you used that word audit. So what an audit representation, let's say a client has been audited, and you were the tax preparer, do you have representation for that client?
This is great. That's what we do. The client, once we get there is a couple of forms that you would have to find. At that time, you're no longer talking with the IRS. You're talking, all the communication come to us as well. You might get a copy. Okay. At that time, I'm talking to the agent. I get a number, specific number. As a tax preparer, I have what they call a CAF number. So I represent a tax preparer specifically on their issues. So at that time, we go all the way with you. We accompany you. And I had cases where I would travel all the way, I believe the last time, all the way to Greenville to the audit centers to sit down with the clients. Right?
Excellent.
So we try to take away all your fears. So I kind of see the IRS is your friend in a way. You just need to know how to work with them. And don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Call me. I'm the IRS, kind of something.
I would say.
Oh, one more thing, Jean-Philippe. Before
yes.
we end this program, is there any difference between electronic filing and mailing in your tax returns? Is there any?
Yeah, this is a major. And I can tell you, this year, the IRS has filed and transmitted over 100 million tax returns. And that has been done because of the emergence right now of the technology, emergence of the filing electronically, most and most. And you get a higher response with the IRS. But however, there is a caveat to that. You just have to make sure that you accurately look at your return. Before you press that submit button, you need to ensure that all the information that you put in onto your social security number, your date of birth, all those information are correct. Guess what? This is where you can get in more trouble or delay the process. But overall, filing electronically is the best. More and more, we're going to get to where you go straight to the IRS to do that filing, and this is coming in the future.
Thank you so much, Jean-Philippe.
Wonderful, and thank you very much.
We packed in a lot of information here in this couple of minutes regarding the tax season and tax tips. Please, if you've heard this show, share with your friend if you know they are still, if they still haven't filed their taxes, contact Godwin Associates with Jean-Philippe Montoute, JP Montoute Financial Group. And again, the contact information.
My number, there's two numbers, so we give you the number for Godwin, but also I have my number at 252-302-1181. Again, 252-302-1181. I also have a website that you can check. This is the JP Montoute Financial Group website, and also on Facebook. So that's a good way to get information.
Excellent.
Right?
So we have that contact information. It's JP Montoute, 25 Tax Preparer Professional, 252-302-1181. Or if you go to visit him at the office at Godwin Associates, it's 252-599-1764, and the office is located at Eringhouse Street. That's 1502 West Eringhouse in Elizabeth City. Jean-Philippe Montoute, if you're not familiar with that name, it's Dr. Jean-Philippe, and it's pronounced Jean-Philippe.
Oh, Jean-Philippe. Thank you.
Montoute, Montout. So again, Jean-Philippe, thank you so much for coming and representing the tax preparers here this season.
I will appreciate all, and thank you for this invitation. And I'm hoping continuing to give, get more information and for people to get into filing taxes or other. The other thing, we may talk later what I do with business, developing small businesses.
Well, we will have to get you back on the show, on the River City Review show.
Yeah.
So, but Morning Joy, and before we go, Jean-Philippe Montoute, Dr. Jean-Philippe Montoute is an actual professor, an adjunct professor here at Elizabeth City State University in the Business Administration Department. So if you are attending here, you can always meet him here on campus.
Well, thank you.
Morning Joy listeners, Morning Joy River City Reviews will return next month with more of what's happening and spreading love and spreading information, good information that is needed right here on the River City Reviews show on Morning Joy. If you were wondering what's up and what's new in the River City,